Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. What is your genius? Hello, good people. This is Stella, your regular host on the Family Enrichment Hub, your center for family learning and for growth. Thank you for keeping it with the hub. Thank you for promoting our content. I truly appreciate you. Today, I want to be sharing another aspect of hurting people, and that is they are unhealthily competitive. Unhealthy competition is a state of mind where your personal decisions are determined basing on the actions of other people. You decide what is good for your life basing on what other people are doing or not doing. It's not a healthy state of living because, in essence, your life is in the hands of other people. You're not in control, someone else is controlling you. It is only healthy for you to compete in as far as looking to others is going to help you to awaken the potential, the prowess that is within you. So while looking to other people, let it be a basis for you to arise and take up your own mantle and run the race of your life with excellence. So if you ask me, competition is not a healthy state of living with others, but as far as it helps you to arise to what is expected of you as an individual, then it is helpful. What are the causes of unhealthy competition amongst people? The Bible teaches us that where there is no vision, the people perish. So when you lack a clear direction, a clear sense of purpose, when you lack a vision of what you want to achieve for your life, you'll find yourself living out and coping and competing with others on what others are doing. A scarcity mentality will also lead people to play out unhealthy competition because a scarcity mindset is always screaming that resources are limited, resources are not enough. We need to compete for them so that the winner will take it all. So when you have that kind of mindset of necessity, your mind is wired to always be in a place of competing with others. Our school system here in Uganda does not make it any better, where the people who are number one and number two and number three are celebrated, while the people who come on the tail end of the class are actually demeaned. That is not helpful because if we are not careful, at the end of the day, we are going to be raising people who are brilliant with regard to academic measures, but lacking a sense of purpose and direction for their lives. Because, truth be told, not all of us are going to excel academically. For many of us, we're going to find our niches, our spots in life where we shall be outstanding and excel, which are totally not related to how well we excelled in the academic space. For other schools, they even take it a notch higher by categorizing children with regard to their level of performance. So you find the school having the best stream with the best performers, then the middle stream, and then the worst stream with the ones who are always on the tail end with regard to the positioning. That brings out learners who are actually competitive and yet may not have a proper sense of direction and purpose for their lives. When you also lack knowledge of your unique traits and talents and gifts and abilities, you'll be competitive because you don't know what you carry within you. So you will always be running with the abilities of others. Insecurity in yourself. For those who have grown up in toxic home environments, you've grown up with abusive family members, with parents who did not celebrate and validate you, of necessity, you'll have a void within you, a sense of insecurity where you look for space. You look for opportunity for you to prove that you're also somebody, that you're actually better than others. So that insecurity pushes you to a place of competition where you have to outshine, outperform, and win in order to prove a point of you're also good and you also belong. What are the areas of insecurity? The areas where we see unhealthy competition playing out amongst people. The first one is in the area of selecting schools for children. Many parents select schools basing on what a colleague, a neighbor, a friend has done. You go for high-end schools because you want to prove a point to these people that you're better than them, or your children are better than them, or that you also belong. That's unhealthy competition. I've also seen it in the way parents sometimes select careers for their children. Just because a certain family has produced a certain kind of people, they have accountants, they have lawyers, they have all these different careers. And so a parent feels pressured to also pull off that. And then you begin telling your child, the other family has all those. I must also produce that category of people within my family, forgetting that these children have their totally different interests, which many times are very, very apart from what we desire for them. That's also unhealthy competition just because of what is happening in another family. I've also seen people do, for instance, decisions to buy a car. You buy a car just to outprove another person who has bought a car before you. You want to buy the latest ride, you want to buy the more expensive one just to prove a point that you're better and you're higher than the other person. In the times when I was also formally employed within the bank, I used to see people on a lot of pressure going for vacations, getting loans, which were breaking their families just because they needed to prove a point to the others who were doing these vacations. That is unhealthy competition. Why should you break and destroy your family just because you want to prove a point that you also belong and you can actually manage to go for those family vacations? I've also seen people go into certain businesses just because somebody has started their thing, and you come in because you want to prove a point that you can actually be better than them. That is not healthy. And many times they fail because you've not even done your groundwork. You've not studied the proper operations of the business, but you just want to prove a point that you'll actually be better than the person who started out. I've also seen people who do unending house renovations. Every time you move, you see a better thing, you see better lighting, you see better furnishing in a different place, and you keep coming back to undo the arrangement and the peace of your home just because you want to prove a point that you are at pace with the latest trends. That is unhealthy competition. I've also seen it in the academics where parents put pressure on their children. You hear things like, why is that child always winning you? Why are you not better than that person? I believe you can pull it off this time. That's not healthy competition. Like I've mentioned, you're going to pull off children, learners who are extremely competitive, but without a sense of purpose and direction of what they want. All you want to prove is that they can pull off the great positions within their classes. I've also seen it when people are doing their marriages, their quandulas, their weddings. You see a lot of fuss around these functions, people wanting to outdo others who have gone on ahead of them. It's not healthy for your mental state of well-being. I've also seen it amongst couples competing with one another. Who is who here? Who is the higher party? Who is more respected? Who is more honorable? Who do the children love? Who is higher? This is not healthy. And every time I see these things happening within people's families, it confirms to me the state of insecurity that couples live with. By the time you play this out, it clearly confirms you don't know your value. You've not discovered what you bring into your partnership. So you're competing on very unhealthy and very best things within your family. Allow me to share some insights. Everyone is a genius, like Albert Einstein clearly stated, but you only need to discover where your area is. Like you see the lion in the jungle, it is the king. When it comes to the water, the lion is not the king, it is the fish. When it comes to the forest area, the monkey is. take the day. So we need to discover what our areas are so that we shall run our races and live our lives more productively without running other people's races. You can't be at the top in each and everything. Find your unique niche. If you keep focusing on other people's lives and what they are doing, you'll never see what God is doing in your life, and you lose focus of the blessings and the value that you carry within your hands. Competition makes you to always want to be better than another person, to always want to be better than everybody else. And that is a mental state of sickness because you can't be better than everybody in everything all the time. It's good to look to others for purposes of the inspiration because if somebody is doing something great, look to them so that they can help you to awaken the potential that is within you yourself. If another person's success threatens you, you're insecure, and you're definitely bound to live a life of competition. Competition makes you to live unproductive because you're always switching goalposts from one thing to another. Scripture also teaches us that we need to build our lives on the solid rock of life, and that is Jesus Christ. We should not build our lives on the sand. We should not build our lives basing on what other people are doing, so that when the storms of life, which are inevitable to come, which are inevitable to hit all of us at different points in our lives, it will find us stable and steadfast on the rock of life, not on what other people are doing with their lives. Another success isn't your failure. If every time you see somebody succeeding and you feel a sense of loss, you feel a sense of pain, it confirms the deep seated insecurity within your heart and within your spirit. You cannot progress in life when people's success causes you a lot of pain. For the people with an abundant mindset, they believe that another person's success does not stop them from attaining and achieving their own success in life. And so there is no need for unhealthy competition when it comes to your own life. Unhealthy competition steals the joy of life and living within you because you're always in a state of unrest. You're always in a state of puzzle, wondering what is the next thing that people are running with, so that you can also jump into the queue and try to achieve it and outdo and outperform one another. That is not joy of living. You're not a copy of someone else. You have your own path of life that has been crafted out for you. And so you need to live your life from a place of you're personally accountable to yourself and not to another person. Don't compete and run a wrong race which belongs to another person. Run your own race. Unhealthy competition drains your spirit and causes you to take your focus away from being grateful for what you have, and it takes the focus to what is lacking within your life. That is not a healthy state for you to live your life. Unhealthy competition, it makes you a jack of all trades, but a master of none, because you're always jumping from one thing to another, because people are always doing one thing or another. If this speaks to you and your life has been defined and characterized by unhealthy and competitive sins of living, you need to do reflection on your life. You need to do some quiet meditation and reconsider the direction that your life is taking. Think through the issues that have brought you to this place of unhealthy competition and find a value that has been vested within you, because each individual carries value that they are supposed to give out to themselves, to their family, and to the society in which they live. Unhealthy competition is a drainer of your life. Allow me to conclude with this, friends. Chasing popularity is like chasing the wind. It's always moving and never constant. It's ultimately empty. Competition is like the wind. You can never catch it because things and people and their desires are always changing. You cannot live your life basing on things that are always changing. Live your life basing on the solid rock of life, and that is Christ in you. Thank you, friends, for listening in. Kindly share widely, for this is how we shall transform our society through the family. God bless you. Bye.